A splash in youthful strike has frequently been quoted as the cause for labor's suddenly powerful productivity in the 2017 poll. The anxiety is, it seems there was no such a youthquake, compose members of the UK poll research crew. Following the surprise party of the Conservative Party loser their most in the June 2017 general poll, human beings begun looking for an explain. One theoretical rapidly came to popularity. Jeremy Corbyn had enthused previous disengaged youthful voters, who rotated out in droves to voice Labour. Surely, Mr. Corbyn appears to be famous in youthful human beings. He is frequently depicted enclosed by youthful supporters, and how years Glastonbury Fest supported to chants of, about, Jeremy Corbyn. View polls great lent way to the concept. One voting organization offered how strike amongst 18 to 24-year-olds went up by as lot as 16% points, else offered an growth of 12 points. The youthful mobilization explain came to be seen as a reality, and the Oxford British Vocabulary though proclaimed Youthquake, a policy revival amongst millennium voters, its speech of the year. But we now aware there was no splash in youthful strike. With 1964, the norm action of election behaviour in Britain has been the UK poll research's person-to-person examination. Junior voters were yet lot less than potential to voice, older voters lot more than so. The diagram under shows the forecasted likelihood of laid out in the poll, by year. Amongst the youngest voters, the profit of mistake tool how we cannot guideline out a little growth, or reduction, in 2017. In both of year, strike amongst the youngest voters was among 40% and 50%. How there was no splash in youthful strike should perhaps not be as remarkable as it is. All we aware on strike suggests how vote is adhesive. Largest human beings who voice in one poll will go on to voice at next elections, and largest human beings who refrain will go on to do so. We as well aware how older human beings are more than potential to voice rather than youthful human beings, thing how has ever been the instance in Britain and some countries. Common strike did go up in 2017, but just by 2.5% points. All of this suggests how big, flash, and sudden shifts in the year turnout relation are really hardly. The concept how there was a splash in youthful strike may represent a faith how political community reach successful sense of which they set out to do. In the instance, growing youthful strike was portion of Mr. Corbyn's policy. As Labour did suddenly so, it was not unwise to shape the type how the policy pay away. In a feeling it did, Labour was more than famous amongst youthful human beings rather than old human beings in 2017, and its stake of the youthful voice did growth. But winner the supporting of more than of the youthful human beings who voice is not the identical as a splash in youthful strike. It is as well cost indicating out how in 2017 Labour's popular enlarged amongst all ages, besides for such above 70. Amongst older age groups there was as well a big change in the likelihood of vote prudent, as lot UKIP voters switching next the Brexit plebiscite. Else cause the concept of a splash in youthful strike took conduct is how the electoral district level information emerging to supporting the complaint. Yet, figure conclusions on the behavior of individuals of the greater image is dangerous. We can see the job in the changing in strike among 2015 and 2017. Strike did go up in constituencies in more than youthful voters. For each % spot growth in 18 to 29-year-olds residing in a electoral district, strike went up by 0.1% points compared in 2015. Yet, the relation is not as simple as it appears. For each % spot growth in 0 to 4-year-olds residing in a electoral district, strike went up by 0.9% points. Few human beings, it is perhaps secure to tell, believe how strike went up in 2017 since of a flash splash in the quantity of toddlers vote. Which the relation is show, of year, is not how strike went up amongst toddlers, but how strike went up in the kinds of places in lot of toddlers. The identical is real of the relation among the quantity of youthful adults and strike. There was a light growth in strike in the kinds of places in lot of youthful adults. but it was not definitely such youthful adults making the additional lathe of. So how did human beings get it so incorrect? One cause is how measurements strike in surveys is cunning, and human beings who don't voice as well tend to be more than unwilling to get portion in them. The tool we can end up in two lot voters in surveys, that be poorly member of the general people as a outcome. Several human beings will speak you they elect while they in fact didn't. Tertiary, lot surveys are carried out above the telephone or web, once again engaging more than human beings who are potential to voice. The UK poll research person-to-person examination is intended to be as member of the nation as probable, consisting human beings who didn't voice in the poll. Human beings are selected randomly of thousands of addresses through the nation and doors are knocked together before as lot of such choose as probable take part. And human beings' examination answers on strike are checked by the checks versus the noted election registry. The best person-to-person examination isn't ultimate, but the results are as shut to the true on who rotated out to voice as we can receive. The UK poll research has transferred out teaching of elector behaviour at each poll for the history 50 year and is underfunded by the Economical and Public Study Justice. The 2017 Best Person-to-Person reviewed 2,194 human beings, of that 1,475 had their votes approved. The 2015 Best Person-to-Person reviewed 2,987 human beings and approved 1,974. Charts manufactured by Tom Calver, editable by Duncan Goer.